Well, hello, Plainfield.
Hola
Thank you
Plainfield,
for joining me today for our weekly live update and Q&A. Once again, I have members of my administration and representatives from the Plainfield Municipal Utilities Authority participating. Apart from those you see on screen here, I do have the other members of my cabinet on the phone so we can address all your concerns and questions.
Hola Plainfield, gracias por acompañarme hoy para nuestra actualización en vivo semanal y para responder sus preguntas. Una vez más, tengo miembros de mi administración y representantes de la PMUA que participan. Además de los que ven en la pantalla aquí, tengo otros miembros de mi gabinete por teléfono para que podamos contestar sus preguntas y sus inquietudes.
My heartfelt condolences go out to those of you who have lost loved ones over this past week, and to those of you battling this COVID-19 virus. This is an unprecedented time of hardship and collective grieving, not just in our city and in New Jersey, but in our nation and around the world.
Mis más sinceras condolencias a aquellos de ustedes que han perdido seres queridos durante esta semana pasada y a aquellos de ustedes que están en la lucha contra el virus COVID-19. Este es un momento de dificultad y duelo colectivo sin precedentes, no solo en nuestra ciudad y en New Jersey, sino también en toda nuestra nación y en todo el mundo.
As I promised in last week's update, COVID-19 testing is now a reality in Plainfield. If you're experiencing symptoms you think might be related to the coronavirus, please call our hotline at 908-546-1084, Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. You'll be connected to a healthcare professional who will conduct a medical telehealth screening. If you meet the criteria for testing, arrangements will be made for you to be tested at the drive-through site at Kane University or by a mobile unit which will come to you right here in the city of Plainfield. After 5 p.m. and on weekends, please call the Union County hotline at 908-214-7107. After the first day of mobile testing, it was clear that this service was desperately needed. I want to thank the Executive Director, Ed Oatman, and his staff at the county for answering our desperate call for testing in the city of Plainfield.
Como prometí en la semana pasada, las pruebas de COVID-19 ahora son una realidad en Plainfield. Si tienen síntomas y creen que pueden estar relacionados con con el virus del corona, pueden llamar a nuestra línea directa a 908-546-1084 de lunes a viernes de 8:30 de la mañana a 5 de la tarde. Y tú estarás conectado a un profesional de salud que va a realizar una evaluación médica de salud. Si cumples con los requisitos para la prueba, se harán los arreglos necesarios para que se realice la prueba en el sitio de conducción en la Universidad King o por una unidad móvil que pueda venir a tu casa. Después de las 5 p.m. y los fines de semana, puedes llamar a la línea directa del condado del Union al 908-214-7104. Después del primer día de pruebas móviles, estamos claros que este es un servicio que se necesitaba muy, muy, muy desesperadamente. Quiero agradecer al director ejecutivo Ed Oatman y a su personal en el condado por responder a nuestro llamado desesperado por realizar pruebas en Plainfield.
As of Wednesday, April 29, 2020, the number of positive COVID-19 cases in Plainfield now stands at 1,486. 490 within the ages of 24 days old to 96 years old. Additionally, 2,084 individuals were quarantined as a result of exposure to the virus.
A partir del miércoles 29 de abril del 2020, el número de casos positivos de COVID-19 en Plainfield ahora el número es 1,490 casos entre las edades de 24 años a 96 años de edad. Además, hay 2,084 personas que fueron puestas en cuarentena como resultado de ser expuestos al virus.
I am very saddened that we have an additional 7 fatalities to report to you this evening. 3 white males, 2 Hispanic females, and a male and female of unknown origin. They range in age from 49 to 90 years old.
Me entristece mucho que tengamos 7 víctimas fatales adicionales para informarles. 3 hombres blancos, 2 hombres tres hombres blancos, 2 mujeres hispanas y un hombre y otra mujer de origen desconocido. Tienen edades entre 49 años de edad a 90 años de edad.
Someone sent me an email recently asking why are we reporting the race of those that have passed from COVID-19, given that we are a cosmopolitan city. And here's my response. Because of race, Black and brown people go to prison in disproportionate numbers compared to their numbers in the population, although they don't commit any more crimes than other groups. Because of race, people of color don't have access to decent jobs and investment capital like other groups. Because of race, the disparities in our healthcare system cause Black and brown people to have many underlying health conditions that cause them to fall victim to the COVID-19 virus at alarming rates. Nationwide, over 40% of the deaths from the virus are people of color. And in New Jersey, that number stands at 37%. That more than doubles our percentage of the United States population. So race is still a problem and it should not be ignored. It is always uncomfortable for some people to talk about race. The COVID-19 virus and the disproportionate number of deaths among Blacks and Latinos has shown a new light on race and its effects. If we are being honest with ourselves, we must address race and all of its effects on our society if we are serious about making our world a better place.
Muchas personas, alguien me envió un correo y muchas personas me han estado preguntando por qué nos informan sobre la raza de los que han pasado o tienen el COVID-19, dado que somos una ciudad cosmopolita. Y mi respuesta es que es inevitable que hablemos de la raza. ¿Por qué? Porque la raza es algo tan importante en nuestra sociedad y hay un número cuando uno ve los números, los latinos y los afroamericanos son los más afectados y nos tenemos que enfocar en eso porque no podemos evitar algo tan importante que es la raza y debemos dirigirnos a esto de una manera eficaz y para podernos dirigir bien al problema y resolver el problema y poder tener una solución.
Every day the governor and his team report the data by race. And why should we be any different here in the city of Plainfield? If we have that information, we will continue to communicate it to our residents.
Cada día el gobernador da las tasas de personas afectadas por raza y nosotros como Plainfield no vamos a ser diferentes y les vamos a informar los números y también los orígenes de cada persona.
It is inevitable that as we continue to test more aggressively, our numbers will rise, both the number of infected and the number of fatalities. I don't say that lightly, but I want to set realistic expectation. As we test more, these numbers will rise. I'd also like to take to note that the number of fatalities reported daily does not necessarily mean that people are dying overnight. We share the numbers as we get them, but very often they are accumulated over a number of days before being passed on to our office.
Es inevitable que a la medida que continuamos probando más agresivamente, nuestros números aumenten, tanto el número de infectados como el número de muertes. No lo digo a la ligera, pero quiero establecer expectativas realísticas. También me gustaría señalar que la cantidad de muertos reportados diariamente no necesariamente significan que las personas han muerto de la noche a la mañana. Compartimos los números a medida que los recibimos, pero a menudo que se van acumulando durante varios días antes de pasarlo a nuestra oficina.
We get all updates on the COVID-19 cases through the CDRSS system provided by the Centers for Disease Control and New Jersey Department of Health throughout the day. The New Jersey Department of Health, local health departments, hospitals, labs, urgent care facilities, FQHCs, and doctors' offices enter the cases into the system with all data, including demographic data. The reality at the moment, however, is that these agencies are inundated with cases and there is a staff shortage. This impacts the volume of data that can be entered each day.
Recibimos todas las actualizaciones sobre los casos del COVID-19 a través del sistema del CDRSS dado por los Centros para el Control de Enfermedades y del Departamento de Salud de New Jersey. Y en todo, así lo recibimos. El NJDOH, los departamentos de salud locales, hospitales, laboratorios, centros de atención de urgencia y los consultorios médicos ingresan los casos en el sistema con todos los datos, incluyendo los datos demográficos. Sin embargo, la realidad es que en este momento las agencias están inundadas de casos y hay una escasez de personal. Lo afecta en el volumen de datos que puedan ellos ingresar cada día.
As of this moment, we are actively investigating the 1,490 positive cases and the 2,084 persons that are under quarantine in the city of Plainfield. Right now, our priority is to ensure that we keep track of these residents as per guidelines to safeguard the public health of our residents.
A partir de este momento estamos investigando activamente 1,490 casos positivos y tenemos 2,084 personas en cuarentena en la ciudad de Plainfield. En este momento, nuestra prioridad es asegurarnos de hacer un seguimiento de estos residentes según las pautas para guardar la seguridad pública.
And many of you have asked how many people have recovered from the virus. Well, I'm pleased to report that as of today, 719 people have recovered from the virus. But on the other hand, it saddens me that the number of fatalities now stands at 44. And I will give you those deaths as they were reported to us by demographic data or by race composition. There were 15 African Americans, 9 Hispanics, 8 whites, and as of today, we don't know the race of 12 of the fatalities. As of this moment, total number of COVID-19 positive cases in the 3 nursing homes around Plainfield are 103, and total confirmed deaths stand at 26.
Muchos han preguntado cuántas personas son las personas que se han podido recuperar del virus. Me place compartirles que el número de personas que se han podido recuperar del virus son 719 personas, pero también al mismo lado, el número de total de fallecidos son 44 personas y las razas de los fallecidos son 15 afroamericanos, 9 hispanos, 8 blancos y 12 desconocidos. A partir de ese momento, el número de total de casos de COVID-19 en los 3 hogares de ancianos alrededor de Plainfield son 103 casos confirmados y el total de muertos confirmados son 26 personas en las casas de ancianos en Plainfield.
Yesterday, Governor Murphy signed Executive Order number 130, which allows municipalities to extend the grace period for property tax payments due on May 1st to June 1st. The extension is for 30 days. This extension provides much needed relief to homeowners struggling financially as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. We have been actively seeking ways to ease the economic blow suffered by our residents as a result of the pandemic and shutdown. Allowing municipalities the option of extending the grace period for May property tax payments is the right thing to do.
Ayer el gobernador Murphy firmó la orden ejecutiva número 130. Esto permite que los municipios puedan extender el periodo de gracia para los pagos de impuestos a la propiedad que se vencen el 1 de mayo a extenderlo al 1 de junio. Esta extensión dará un alivio muy necesario a los propietarios que luchan financieramente como resultado de la pandemia COVID-19. Hemos estado buscando activamente formas de aliviar el golpe económico sufrido por nuestros residentes como resultado de la pandemia y el cierre. Permitir a los municipios la opción de extender el periodo de gracia para los pagos de impuestos a la propiedad en mayo es lo correcto.
You should know that under the existing law, municipalities can only allow a grace period of up to 10 days after the property tax deadline without interest or penalties. In the aftermath of Superstorm Sandy, the law was amended to allow towns that have experienced a flood, hurricane, superstorm, tornado, or other natural disasters to extend the grace period for up to a month in certain circumstances. There is currently no mechanism in the law to allow municipalities to extend the grace period as a result of a public health-related emergency. However, Executive Order number 130 allows towns, and we are a city, to extend the grace period for property tax payments due on May 1st to June 1st, which will enable homeowners to pay their taxes a month after they are due without incurring interest, costs, and penalties. So much so, we will continue to seek ways to alleviate the impact of the COVID-19 virus on our residents. And as a result, I have called a special meeting for this coming Monday at 7 p.m. to seek the council's approval to formally extend the tax payment grace period in accordance with Executive Order number 130.
También les quiero informar que según la ley, los municipios solo pueden permitir un periodo de gracia de hasta 10 días después de la fecha límite del impuesto de la propiedad sin intereses y sin multas. A raíz de la tormenta Sandy, la ley también permitió que las ciudades que han experimentado una inundación, huracanes, tormentas eléctricas, tornados y otros desastres naturales que puedan extender el periodo de gracia hasta por un mes en ciertas circunstancias. Actualmente no existe un mecanismo en la ley que permita a los municipios extender el periodo de gracia como resultado de una emergencia relacionada con la salud pública. Sin embargo, la orden ejecutiva número 130 permite a las ciudades extender el periodo de gracia para los pagos de impuestos a la propiedad que vencen del 1 de mayo y extenderlo para que vence el 1 de junio, lo que permitirá a los propietarios pagar sus impuestos un mes después de su vencimiento sin incluir ningún costo de interés o multas. Continuaremos buscando formas de aliviar el impacto del COVID-19 en nuestros residentes. Tanto es así que convoqué una reunión especial para el próximo lunes a las 7 p.m. para solicitar la aprobación del Consejo para extender formalmente el periodo de gracia para el pago de impuestos de acuerdo con la Orden Ejecutiva 130.
And so to make this very clear, as soon as the governing body adopts this resolution on Monday, individuals who are paying their own property taxes will have a grace period of 30 days up to June the 1st to pay their taxes.
Para aclarar esto, a lo más se aprueba esto el lunes, entonces tendrán la oportunidad de tener un tiempo de gracia y de extensión hasta el 1 de junio.
Last week, I shared that we established a Plainfield COVID-19 Relief Fund. And to date, we have received donations from concerned partners and residents who want to help. The distribution of relief funds and donations will be handled by our finance department working with the business administrator's office. At the very least, those applying for aid will have to show proof of Plainfield residency, proof of hardship, such as loss of job, unemployment, health challenges, etc. The disbursement of food and other essential items donated will be handled through our Office of Emergency Management. The application form detailing where and how to apply will be available online and for pickup at City Hall shortly. Plainfield is truly a compassionate city, and I am proud of the response and the willingness of our residents to help each other in this time of need.
La semana pasada compartí que establecimos un fondo de ayuda COVID-19 de Plainfield y hasta la fecha hemos recibido donaciones de socios y residentes interesados que desean ayudar. La distribución de fondos de ayuda y donaciones será manejada por nuestro Departamento de Finanzas trabajando con la Oficina de Administradores de Empresas. Por lo menos aquellos que necesitan una ayuda y van a adquirir una solicitud deben demostrar lo siguiente: prueba de residencia que viven en Plainfield. Lo segundo, prueba de dificultad, pérdida de trabajo, desempleo, problemas de salud, etc. El desembolso de alimentos y otros artículos esenciales donados se manejará a través de nuestra oficina de manejo de emergencias. El formulario de solicitud demuestra en detalle dónde y cómo presentar la solicitud y esto estará disponible en línea y para que ustedes lo puedan recoger. Plainfield realmente es una ciudad que tiene compasión y estoy muy orgulloso de la respuesta y la disposición de nuestros residentes para ayudarse mutuamente en este momento de necesidad.
The UEZ Relief Fund for small businesses impacted by the pandemic will be active after May 18th, pending approval by the City Council. Assuming a positive vote, the application will be available on our website at plainfieldnj.gov on the Office of Economic Development's page, as well as at the front desk in the City Hall lobby for pickup.
El Fondo de Ayuda UEZ para pequeñas empresas afectadas por la pandemia estará activo después del 18 de mayo. Después del 18 de mayo, a la espera de la aprobación del gobierno. Asumiendo un voto positivo, la solicitud estará disponible en nuestro sitio web en plainfieldnj.gov, en la página de la Oficina de Desarrollo Económico, así como en el frente del escritorio para su recogida en nuestras oficinas.
Many of you expressed concern about the homeless and senior citizens, about their ability to access protective equipment during this lockdown. Last week, members of my administration joined me and some of our first responders as we handed out care packets to homeless individuals around the city. These packets included sanitizers and masks, among other essential items. We also distributed similar packets at our senior living facilities on Monday and earlier today. We were also able to provide masks to individuals seen on the streets of Plainfield not wearing a face covering. I was pleased to note that the majority of residents were cooperating and using some type of covering on their faces and practicing social distancing.
Muchos de ustedes expresaron su preocupación por la capacidad de las personas, por la salud de las personas que no tienen hogar y de las personas de tercera edad. Para también responder a sus inquietudes, la semana pasada, miembros de mi administración se unieron a mí y algunos de nuestros primeros de aquellos doctores y los que están en las primeras líneas para entregar paquetes de atención a las personas que no tienen hogar en nuestra ciudad. Estos paquetes incluyeron desinfectantes, mascarillas, entre otros artículos esenciales. También distribuimos paquetes similares en nuestras instalaciones para personas mayores el lunes. Y hoy más temprano. También pudimos porcionar mascarillas para individuos que están en las calles que no llevaban una mascarilla. Me complace notar que la mayoría de los residentes sí están cooperando y están usando algún tipo de cobertura en sus rostros y practicaban el distanciamiento social.
I would be remiss if I did not speak to you about the census. The census count continues and every single Plainfield resident needs to be counted. The importance of an accurate count cannot be overstated. For the past 10 years, we have lost out on valuable funding and resource allocation because we were undercounted. We cannot allow that to happen again. At the moment, our response rate is below the national average, which is 53.2%, below the New Jersey average, which stands at 54.7%, and below that of Union County, which stands at 56.7%.
Algo también muy importante es el conteo del censo y esto continúa y cada residente de Plainfield necesita ser contado. La importancia de un conteo preciso no puede ser exagerada. Durante los últimos 10 años hemos perdido fondos valiosos y asignaciones de recursos porque no se nos ha contado toda la gente efectivamente. No podemos permitir que esto vuelva a suceder. En este momento nuestra tasa de respuesta está por debajo del promedio nacional, que es 53.2%, por debajo del promedio de New Jersey, que es 54.7%, y por debajo del promedio del condado de Union, que es 56.7%.
The Plainfield average is 43.6%. That is about 13 points below the Union County average. And I know we can do better. We must do better. Please find the letter sent to you by the Census Bureau. Grab the code and go online to census.gov to fill out the response. It takes only 10 minutes of your time for you to make a difference for your quality of life and for our city.
El promedio de Plainfield en la tasa de respuestas es 43.6%, 3 puntos debajo del promedio de nuestro condado. Y sé que podemos hacer un mejor trabajo, debemos hacer un mejor trabajo. Busca la carta que se te envió en la oficina del census, toma el código y accede a census.gov para completar la respuesta. Solo toma 10 minutos de su tiempo para hacer una diferencia en su calidad de vida y en su ciudad.
No one could have predicted a pandemic of this proportion and foresee that its deadly effect would cripple our economy. But I want to encourage you to take heart. We have experienced profound grief, but we have always seen great acts of empathy and compassion. We have seen the best of the human spirit and human nature rise to the forefront, and heroes have emerged from among our families, our friends, and our neighbors.
Nadie podrá haber predicho una pandemia de esa proporción y prevenir su efecto mortal que paralizó nuestra economía, pero quiero alentarlos a que se animen. Hemos experimentado un dolor profundo, pero también hemos visto grandes actos de empatía y compasión. Hemos visto lo mejor de la naturaleza humana a la vanguardia, y han surgido héroes entre familias, entre amigos y entre nuestros vecinos.
The story of Plainfield resident Rashid Robertson was brought to my attention earlier today. Rashid continually passed groups of homeless people in Plainfield who were confused about where to go or what to do during the COVID-19 pandemic. He decided to do something to help. He made 50 home-cooked meals and delivered them. Rashid is a 33-year-old father of 3, and he spent hours in his kitchen in Plainfield last Saturday cooking fish, chicken, and shrimp, as well as rice, mashed potatoes, and peas. He paid for all of it, including the containers in which he delivered the lunches. He will do it again this Saturday, he said, but this time he will have help. After posting about his efforts on Facebook, Rashi said several friends and acquaintances volunteered to pitch in with their time or donation. Rashi said he had personal reasons for helping.
La historia del residente de Plainfield, Rashid Robertson, me llamó la atención hoy. Rashid continuamente pasaba grupos de personas sin hogar en Plainfield que estaban confundidas acerca de dónde ir o qué hacer durante el tiempo de la pandemia del COVID-19. Y él decidió hacer algo para ayudarlos. Y lo que él hizo es que él cocinó 50 comidas caseras y se las entregó. Rashid tiene 33 años y es un padre de 3 hijos. El sábado pasado pasó horas en su cocina en Plainfield cocinando pescado, pollo, camarones, así como arroz, puré de papas. Él lo pagó todo, incluyendo los contenedores en los que él entregó estos almuerzos. Y él lo volverá a hacer este sábado, y dijo, porque esta vez él tendrá ayuda. Después de publicar sobre sus esfuerzos en su página de Facebook, Rashid dijo que varios amigos y conocidos se ofrecieron como voluntarios para contribuir con su tiempo y con sus donaciones.
I'm really touched by the generosity and the caring of someone like Rashi. He wasn't always fortunate enough to get help himself, and he went hungry. Sometimes he couldn't feed his kids, and it was rough. He said he received so many blessings in the past few weeks alone. So, out of the kindness of his heart, he just wanted to do something to give back to people that are less fortunate. People like Rashi, who make Plainfield special. This is what the heart of Plainfield is about, people helping each other in their time of need.
Me toca las acciones de Rashi para ayudar. Él no siempre tuvo la suerte de obtener ayuda y él sufrió hambre. A veces él no podía y no sabía cómo alimentar sus hijos y era muy duro. Dijo que él recibió tantas bendiciones solo en las últimas semanas, así que por la bondad de su corazón solo quería ayudar gente. Y son esta gente como Rashi que hace a Plainfield especial. Eso es lo que hace el corazón de Plainfield. Personas que se quieren ayudar mutuamente en tiempos de necesidad.
So this evening I lift up Rashi for his spirit of giving and caring.
Entonces, en esta noche yo hoy levanto a Rashi por su espíritu de cariño y de compasión.
So even though the numbers continue to rise, we are not disheartened. We are not broken, and we are not hopeless. I believe in the strength of our community. I believe in the fortitude of our residents, and I have no doubt whatsoever that we will rise once more like we have done over and over again. We are one Plainfield, one future.
A pesar de que los números comienzan a aumentar, no estamos rotos. Creo en nuestra comunidad y creo que nosotros vamos a superar esto como lo hemos hecho. Y sé que de esto vamos a salir más fuerte y vamos a salir de esto.
For those of you who have sent questions ahead of time, thank you. We will address them now, and those who wish to ask questions can do so in the comment box on Facebook. Let's go to the first question. Jazz and Jen.
Por aquellos que han respondido, muchas gracias. Pueden dar sus preguntas, lo pueden poner en la caja ahí en Facebook. Y ahora vamos a responder las preguntas, ahora con Jazz.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. There's a question regarding the PMUA. A resident asked why they're not able to utilize the Rock Avenue facility in place of a bulk pickup. As residents are home, their family need to organize some permits, and they're saying it would make sense to allow residents to bring bulk pickup items to Rock Avenue in lieu of the bulk pickup.
We are fortunate to be joined by Executive Director Eric Jackson, and at this time I will ask him to come in and speak to our residents. Mr. Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening to everyone. While we continue to modify our efforts at the PMUA to meet the public need, we continue to do the things that we think are in the community's best interest. And to that specific request, originally, we did not have the capacity to do any walkie-load pickups at all. We still cannot go out and pick it up, but if residents would desire to bring their bulky waste to the transfer station in lieu of, in lieu of their free bulky waste pickup, we can accommodate them that way, and we can facilitate them by them calling the main headquarters at the PMUA at 908-226-2518, and they provide proof of residency and ownership of the property. We will accept their bulky waste in lieu of their free pickups. And we tried to do this to continue to meet the needs of the public, and we'll continue to adjust our schedules to meet that need as we go forward.
I thank you for that answer. I jump ahead of our translator. So can you summarize the question and then the response?
Yes. The question, perdón, sorry. La pregunta es qué podamos hacer acerca del PMUA, de lo que es la basura y cosas que necesitan ser recogidas, si las podemos ir a dejar. Y el PMUA respondió que están haciendo lo que ellos puedan para ayudar y para hacerlo más fácil a la comunidad, y pueden llamar a las oficinas de ellos y ellos aceptarán lo que ustedes tienen, y también ellos van a tratar de hacer todo lo posible para responder a sus necesidades y a sus inquietudes.
Thank you. Let's go to the next question.
Hi, Mayor. This question is from Carolyn Wellington. She'd like to know how many calls has the city received since implementing the mobile testing?
La pregunta es cuántas llamadas ha recibido la ciudad ahora que implementaron el poder uno hacerse exámenes en Plainfield movibles.
Although I don't know how many calls, and I don't know if Director Brown has any information on that, I don't know the number of calls. What I can tell you is that there have been several calls, and I can also tell you that as a result of those calls, that the Union County Mobile Unit has responded to a number of homes and have conducted the tests. And in so doing, they came across situations where it was vitally important for those individuals in those homes to be tested, because the situation was rather grave. And so I am so pleased that we have partnered with the county to make testing by way of a mobile unit available to our residents.
Han habido muchas llamadas, y la unidad de movilización del condado de Union nos ha ayudado en realizar pruebas en las que era muy vital la importancia de que las personas hicieran las pruebas, porque los casos estaban muy graves. Y ahora yo quiero agradecer también a la condado de Union por ellos ayudarnos en ayudar que estas personas se puedan hacer los exámenes en sus casas.
Let's go to the next question.
Yes, Mayor. This question is from Emmett. He says, I know the state as well as the city has made it mandatory to wear masks. His question is, if he goes walking or jogging, does he need to wear a mask, especially if there are no other individuals near him?
La pregunta es si yo estoy corriendo o caminando, si necesito usar una mascarilla.
Absolutely. Everyone who goes out into the public should be wearing a mask. It is for your protection as well as the protection of the general public. Even though someone may not be around you at the time, if you have the virus, it will linger in the air for some period of time before it hits the ground. And so it is extremely important. I can't stress enough how important it is for everyone who goes out into the public to wear a face covering. This virus is still present. Our numbers are still escalating, and we expect that to continue, especially now that we have a mobile test unit in the city. We have not yet peaked in this city, I am sad to say. So let's take all of the necessary precautions to protect ourselves, our families, and the general public.
Sí, absolutamente es vital y importante que ustedes usen mascarillas. El virus sigue presente, los números siguen creciendo y tristemente todavía no hemos alcanzado el tope en nuestra ciudad. Entonces sí, es vital que usen mascarillas para proteger sus vidas y las vidas de sus familias.
Let's hear the next question.
This question is from a Hispanic resident. Mary Lopez wants to know, what is the percentage of people who have been recovered?
La pregunta es, ¿cuál es el porcentaje de personas que se han podido recuperar?
Although I don't have the percentage handy, I believe I communicated that 719 people, I think, have recovered And if we do the simple math, divide the number of positives into that number, we can get a percentage. And if someone on my team is able to do that quickly, I would share that percentage with the public. But I believe I reported that 769, I think, or 719 have recovered. Director Brown, what is the number?
So the recovery number is 719 out of approximately 1,400. So you're looking about a 48% recovery rate.
Which is very good at this point in time, and I hope that continues to improve.
El número de porcentaje es 48%. Se han recuperado 619 personas de 1,400 casos, que es muy bueno a cómo vamos.
Okay, let's hear the next question.
Yes, Larita Chrissy Langston asks, are there going to be modified hours for the Vital Statistics Office who want to apply for marriage licenses and or obtain certificates?
La pregunta es si van a haber horas, diferentes horas para aquellos que quieren obtener su licencia de matrimonio o diferentes licencias oficiales.
We've gotten some concerns about that, so I would ask Director Brown to address that question.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor. So we've had some challenges around opening up our office for vital statistics. What we have done is we will be opening it up starting tomorrow, Wednesday and Fridays for full days. The goal is first to catch up to what we have to do, meaning those who have already mailed in or who have already applied for certain certificates. We're going to begin to address those. And then the next step is to begin to address those who are coming. So for instance, if you have a wedding, your marriage is coming at the end of June, we will prioritize that and begin the process for making sure that you have your license in a timely manner. But we're doing it in stages. We're opening up for 2 days a week, and we're going to work hard and diligently to address everyone.
Sí, hemos tenido desafíos para la Oficina de Estadísticas Vitales y vamos a comenzar los miércoles y los viernes. Nos vamos a direccionar a aquellos que ya habían presentado su solicitud, sus permisos, sus licencias y después a ir a aquellos que quieren solicitar esos permisos. Lo estamos haciendo de una manera despacio, pero también de una manera eficaz para poder responder a sus necesidades.
Let's hear the next question.
This question is from Talia Mercado. She would like to know, do you plan on making donations to the Plainfield Rescue Squad, especially with PPEs?
La pregunta es
Can you repeat that, please?
Sure. Do you plan on making donations to the Plainfield Rescue Squad, especially with PPEs?
La pregunta es si planean hacer donaciones al equipo de rescate de Plainfield.
I believe our OEM coordinator, Mr. Kenneth Childress, who's also the director of our fire department, has been working with the Plainfield Rescue Squad, and we have provided some PPEs to the Plainfield Rescue Squad. If there is a need at this time, in other words, if they are low on supplies, I would encourage the leadership of the rescue squad to get in touch with our OEM coordinator, and we will do all that we can to make sure that we fill that need where it exists.
Bueno, hemos hablado con el coordinador del OMM y el director de los bomberos y hemos proveído todo lo que podemos para ayudarles, pero si hay aún más necesidad, se pueden conectarse con ellos también y ayudar a responder a estas necesidades, pero nosotros también estamos haciendo lo posible para aliviar en este tiempo de necesidad.
Let's go to the next question.
Yes, Jennifer Popper wants to know if school and city city and school parks, for example, Hubstein will be open as of May 2nd. Now that Governor Murphy has opened state parks and Union County has opened county parks as of May 2nd, effective May 2nd.
La pregunta es si escuelas o parques van a estar abiertas a partir del 2 de mayo, ya que el gobernador dijo que los parques del estado van a estar abiertos a partir del 2 de mayo.
The answer is no. We are not comfortable with opening our parks at this time simply because we still have concerns about social distancing, and given the fact that Plainfield's numbers in terms of positive cases are as high as they are, I don't believe that the time is right at present for us to reopen our parks. I think it would invite the assembling of people, and it would pose a risk to our population at large. And so there is no plan in place right now for us at the municipal level to reopen our parks. That is something that we will address or look at in the coming weeks.
Ahora no hay un plan como nosotros en manera municipal del gobierno, porque todavía estamos con este problema y queremos todavía enfatizar en el distanciamiento social, y no creo que es un buen tiempo para reabrir, y también quiero proteger la seguridad de nuestros residentes. Entonces, actualmente no hay un plan para abrir el 2 de mayo.
So our parks will remain closed until there is an announcement from City Hall.
Nuestros parques se van a mantener cerrados hasta que el gobierno municipal y nosotros les avisaremos cuándo vamos a reabrirlos.
Let's hear the next question.
Question is from Lisa Stevens. She'd like to know, how will extending the deadline to pay taxes until June 1st affect funds that will be sent to the Board of Education and Union County?
Can you repeat the question, please? Sorry, I didn't hear.
Sure. How will extending the deadline to pay taxes until June 1st affect funds that will be sent to the Board of Education and to Union County?
¿Cómo extender los plazos de pago de impuestos hasta el 1 de junio? ¿Cómo va a afectar los fondos escolares y otros fondos, etcétera?
It is unfortunate that although the executive order from the governor has allowed for relief to our taxpayers by way of extending the grace period, it did not allow municipalities any grace period on the payment of taxes to the school district or to the county. And so we still have to pay those quarterly taxes to the school district and to the county as per statute.
Desafortunadamente, aunque la orden ejecutiva del gobernador ayudó a los residentes, no alivió al tiempo de gracia que tenemos que pagar como forma del gobierno municipal. No nos dio un tiempo de gracia para las escuelas y otras organizaciones. No nos ha brindado ese tiempo de gracia para poder pagar los impuestos.
And if I may go back for just 1 second, I am told that the Union County Park systems will reopen on May 2nd. However, we will not be guided by that date. Our city parks remain closed.
Me han informado que aunque el condado va a reabrir sus parques como ciudad, nosotros todavía no vamos a abrir nuestros parques.
Let's hear the next question.
Yes, Beverly Crisp would like to know if you have an idea approximately how many care packets were distributed to the homeless And for those who are missed, is there a system? How can they receive a packet? Those who are missed.
La pregunta es cuántas personas recibieron los paquetes de cuidado, de paquetes esenciales, y si las personas no los pudieron recibir, si hay un sistema para que ellos puedan reclamar esos paquetes.
We have distributed hundreds of packets to our homeless as well as to our senior buildings. There is no way for us to know where every homeless person is. And since homeless individuals are somewhat mobile in terms of where they are at any given point in time, we will do our very best to go to those locations where we know they normally are, and we will do everything that we can to make sure that packages are distributed, but we really have no way of knowing whether or not we have distributed to all of the homeless individuals. I don't think that we will ever know that, but we're doing our absolute best to find where the homeless are and to take care of their needs. I don't know if Director Burgess would like to add anything onto that.
No, sir, you said exactly what I was thinking. It's a little difficult to know exactly where they are. I will add, if someone does know of someone and where they might be, they could give me a call at 908-753-3225, and we will try to locate that individual if they give us a good area.
Se han dado cientos de paquetes a personas sin hogar. También hemos dado paquetes a las personas de tercera edad, pero no hay forma definitiva de saber dónde está cada persona sin hogar en cada debido momento. Pero sí hemos dado cientos de paquetes a todas las personas que hemos podido ayudar, y haremos lo mejor que podamos para distribuir los paquetes a las personas que más lo necesitan. También, si saben de personas que necesitan esta ayuda, pueden llamar al 908-753-3225.
Let's move on to the next.
This question is from Carolyn Wellington. It appears that over 50% of the fatalities have occurred in nursing homes. Are there any thoughts on proactively using the mobile testing at those sites rather than just wait for them to call?
Aparece que más del 50% de aquellos que han fallecido son de aquellos de tercera edad. Si hay manera que nosotros podamos ir hacia ellos y hacer el examen en vez de que ellos salgan de sus casas para hacerse el examen.
Nursing homes are handled very differently, and at present our focus is on the residents of the city that are not in these long-term care facilities. I believe there is another plan in place by the state for these nursing home facilities, but our focus right now is on getting all of our residents who are not in nursing homes be tested, those that have shown symptoms, and the best that we can do is to try to find out exactly what is happening at the nursing homes, but that falls under a different jurisdiction. And so we're going to do our best to provide testing for as many of our residents as possible. I don't know if Director Brown wants to add anything to that.
No, Mayor, you actually covered it well. Thank you.
Los hogares de ancianos se manejan de manera diferente, y nuestro enfoque ahora es en aquellos que no actualmente están en las casas de ancianos, porque eso es una parte que nosotros no manejamos, no está debajo de nuestro gobierno, es parte de otra faceta que no manejamos nosotros directamente, pero estamos haciendo todo lo posible para ayudarlos a ellos y también a aquellos que no viven en casas de ancianos que han demostrado síntomas para ayudarlos también.
So again, let me point out that nursing homes, long-term care facilities are not under the city's jurisdiction, and so there are facilities that report to the state of New Jersey.
Quiero decirlo otra vez que las casas de ancianos no están debajo de nuestro cuidado, están debajo del cuidado del Estado, entonces son otras reglas, solo para que también ustedes sepan.
But we are definitely concerned at our local nursing homes.
Pero claro, nos interesa y nos preocupamos por las casas de ancianos en nuestra ciudad.
Let's hear the next question.
Yes, John Tucker asks, can we still get roll-off dumpsters dropped off to us?
I will punt.
Sorry, Mary.
Please, Kathleen.
La pregunta es si pueden venir a recoger la basura a nuestras casas.
I will punt that to our executive director, Mr. Eric Jackson. I think you're on mute, Mr. Jackson.
Is that better?
Yeah. Go ahead. Continue now.
Yes, we ask that residents would continue to give us a call at our main number, and we will deliver the roll-off and pick it up based on the schedule that they request.
Sí, nosotros les pedimos a los residentes que llamen nuestro número primordial para que nosotros podamos darles los servicios.
Let's hear the next question.
Question is from Eddie Ola. Will courthouses be open?
La pregunta es si las cortes van a estar abiertos.
Courts are going to reopen at some point in time. We just don't know when. Again, that's not under our local jurisdiction. And so as soon as we hear from the administrator of the courts for New Jersey and for Union County, we will communicate that. But that's not something that we control. And I am sure they will reopen. The question is when.
Sí, claro que van a abrir, lo único simplemente es que no sabemos cuándo. Nuevamente no está debajo de nuestro control, pero sabemos que New Jersey nos va a avisar cuándo y, como les decía, no está debajo de nuestro control para decirles exactamente cuándo.
Let's hear the next question.
Monica and Pamela wants to know if masks are being given to the day laborers on Front Street.
La pregunta es si están repartiendo mascarillas a aquellos que trabajan en el día en la calle Front. Horarios diarios.
We are giving masks to anyone who we encounter who is not wearing a face covering. We stopped on Front Street in the area of the McDonald's a couple of days ago, and we distributed masks to those who were not wearing a face covering. Whether it's the day laborers or any resident Plainfield, if you're not wearing a face mask and we see you as we're out there distributing masks, you will receive one and you will be encouraged to put that mask on. So, yes, we're giving masks to the day laborers, anyone who needs it.
Sí, estamos dando mascarillas a los obreros, aquellos que están trabajando diariamente y aquellos que necesitan mascarillas. Hemos encontrado personas que no han tenido mascarillas y les hemos brindado mascarillas. Entonces la respuesta es sí, estamos dando mascarillas a aquellos que lo necesiten.
Let's hear the next question.
This question is from Cynthia Molero. She'd like to know, what is the Plainfield population number?
La pregunta es ¿cuál es el número de habitantes de la población de Plainfield?
Is that question asking what is Plainfield population?
Yes.
Okay. The last information we had from the census is that our population now stands at over 51,000. That number gets updated from time to time. Although our actual count at the last census was a little shy of 50,000, The updated census numbers have us at over 51,000 people here in the city of Plainfield. And we know it's more than that.
Bueno, el censo pasado decía que era 51,000 personas, pero más reciente hemos tenido datos que son 21,000, pero sabemos que hay más personas que esas.
Next question, please.
Mayor.
Please.
Monica and Pamela wants to know. She says there's a large number of undocumented people living in Plainfield. How is the city helping them since they're unemployed and can't apply for unemployment benefits?
La pregunta es que hay muchas personas indocumentadas viviendo en Plainfield. ¿Cómo la ciudad les está ayudando a ellos, ya que muchos de ellos han perdido sus trabajos?
But first, many undocumented individuals are gainfully employed. It doesn't mean that because you're undocumented that you're not employed. But in terms of how can we help those who are not able to help and provide for themselves, we have established the Plainfield COVID-19 Relief Fund, and we have put some rules in place. We will be unveiling the application form in the coming days, and individuals who are in need of assistance can apply. You have to demonstrate that you are a Plainfield resident and that there is a need. And once you can do that, we will help those who are living in our city who is in need of assistance.
Bueno, hay muchas personas que no tienen documentos, pero que no aplican para la ayuda del gobierno, pero todavía tienen sus trabajos. Pero para aquellos que han perdido sus trabajos, tenemos el Plainfield COVID Relief Fund, y esto es nuestra manera de poder brindar ayuda a aquellos que no se pueden ayudar. En estos días les daremos la información de cómo pueden aplicar. Tienen que demostrar prueba de residencia y tienen que también demostrar que hay una necesidad, y así nosotros les podemos brindar la ayuda necesaria para cada persona.
Let's hear the next question.
This question is from a Hispanic resident, Jen Shorty. She asks, what happens when my registration is expired and the police gives me a ticket? The Motor Vehicle Commission Agency is closed.
La pregunta es, ¿qué sucede cuando se expira la registración de mi carro y me dan un ticket la policía y no puedo ir a motores y vehículos porque están cerrados?
I'm going to ask our police director, Burgess, to respond.
Yes, sir. There is a grace period for registration based on the governor's executive order. So if they received a ticket prior to, then it would not be covered. But if it's within this grace period, then if they received a ticket, they will have to come to court, and then things will be adjusted accordingly.
Bueno, ha sido dado un tiempo de gracia para estas situaciones. Si ha sido antes de este tiempo de gracia que les dieron el ticket, bueno, no hay manera, tienes que obedecer, pero si ha sido en este tiempo de gracia, sí hay ciertos ajustes, y esos serán arreglados cuando puedan ir a las cortes, y las cortes cuando ya se puedan abrir.
Let's move on to the next.
Aaron Richard wants to know, well, he says we are lucky to live in a city with big parks, for example, Milk Campbell, Cedarbrook, etc. Do we have a plan to create certain hours for certain parks to be open, like staggered hours for different parks to open at different times?
La pregunta es si tienen un plan para abrir los parques a ciertas horas durante ciertos días.
As I mentioned earlier, we don't have a plan right now for reopening our parks anytime soon. I will have internal discussions amongst cabinet members, and we will come up with a plan for how we will phase in the reopening of our parks. But right now, our parks remain closed.
Como yo les compartía, por ahora no hay planes de reabrir los parques. Tendremos una discusión interna con mi equipo sobre cómo vamos a reabrir los parques.
Let's go to the next.
Alan Strickland asks, is there a curfew still in place in Plainfield?
La pregunta es si todavía hay toque de queda en Plainfield.
Well, the governor's executive order is still in place. To the best of my knowledge, it hasn't been lifted, and people are expected to stay off the streets and to stay in their homes unless they have to go out for essential purposes, such as grocery shopping, going to the pharmacy, or going to work for an essential reason. But as of now, nothing has changed in terms of the governor's executive order, other than the fact that he has issued an order effectively reopening state parks, I believe effective May the 2nd or thereabout. But any restriction on the movement of people, I am not aware that there has been any change as far as that, and certainly as it stands in Plainfield, any executive order that I've issued still stand. I should add that the curfew for young people has always been by ordinance a 10 p.m. curfew for youth. The governor's executive order certainly required people to be off the streets by 8 unless you are an essential individual, unless you are going out for grocery shopping or to the pharmacy.
La orden del gobierno todavía está puesta en alto, que es que no pueden salir solo si hay una necesidad esencial o tienen un propósito esencial para salir. No han cambiado las órdenes del gobernador, solo la única cosa que ha cambiado de sus órdenes es que va a abrir los parques del estado a partir del 2 de mayo, pero también para decirles que los jóvenes siempre han tenido un tiempo donde ellos tienen que estar en casa, que es a las 10 p.m. de la noche, pero las órdenes del gobernador siguen en pie, que es que todos tienen que estar en sus casas a las 8 de la noche.
Okay, let's move on.
Mayor, this question is from Sam Cooper, and she asks, has anything been put in place for reaching the numerous apartment complexes? Happy to share a flyer that provides info on census and testing site info. And after the translation, I'd be happy to address that, Mayor, if you'd like.
I'm sorry, Jazz, can you repeat it? I lost you in the
Sorry,
audio.
Kathleen.
No, it's okay, don't worry.
She wants
Okay,
to know if
repeat that.
anything. She
Repeat.
wants to know if anything has been put in place for reaching the apartment complexes to share census and testing site info.
La pregunta es si ustedes han hecho algo o tienen algo establecido para llegar a los complejos de apartamentos y compartir información sobre los censos y sitios de prueba.
Okay, Jazz, can you respond?
Sure. We currently, in conjunction with the census, we have door hangers coming, speaking to the census info, and that will be distributed at all the housing authority sites as well as the other apartment complexes around town. As far as the testing info that was sent to the housing authority for distribution, further distribution at the apartment complexes, we would have to have a discussion with the OEM department to coordinate getting those posted.
Nosotros tenemos colgadores de puertas que tienen la información del census y esos los vamos a dar a los sitios de apartamentos, de casas y también la información de pruebas. Tenemos que hablar con la organización del OEMM para poder también añadirles la información de sitios de prueba y sitios médicos.
Let's move on to the next question.
Elizabeth Harmon asks, will my child have to wear a mask to school?
La pregunta es si mi hijo o hija tienen que ponerse mascarilla cuando vayan a la escuela, cuando regresen a la escuela.
Until we receive guidance from health authorities that suggests we don't have to wear a face covering, I would encourage everyone in the city of Plainfield to continue to wear face covering whenever you go out in public, whenever you are in large gatherings. So if you're at school, there is no social distancing that happens in schools. So unless you hear differently from the experts, I would say continue to wear your face mask.
Hasta que nosotros recibimos una orientación diferente de las autoridades de salud, la respuesta es sí. Todos deben cubrirse la cara cuando se encuentren en reuniones grandes, cuando vayan a la escuela, etc. Es muy importante que todos usen la protección necesaria, especialmente cubrir su rostro con la mascarilla.
Let's go to the next question.
Jen?
Chad?
Is there a next question? Jazz or Jen, do we have any more questions?
Mayor, I have no more English questions. I don't know if there are any more Spanish questions.
Okay, Jen?
No, there are no more Spanish questions either.
Okay. Well, it seems like we have, let me see, what do I have here? To the country parks, people, this. Okay. I received word that the county will likely open their parks on May 2nd. I am not in control. I don't have any jurisdiction over county parks, but as mayor, I have jurisdiction over the parks that are owned by the city of Plainfield. And the parks in the city of Plainfield that are under my jurisdiction will remain closed until we make an announcement. I think that it would be unwise of the county to open its parks in the city of Plainfield, and hopefully there can be a conversation about that. But our local municipal parks remain closed. We are concerned about social distancing. We are concerned about the fact that Plainfield has a higher number of infected individuals than I believe any place else in the county. And our numbers will continue to rise until we have hit that peak. And with the additional testing, I think it's not wise for us to relax at this point in time. We will continue to stay firmly committed to social distancing and controlling the numbers of people who have been affected and infected in our city of Plainfield.
El condado abrirá los parques a partir del 2 de mayo. Yo no tengo ningún control sobre los parques del condado, pero sí tengo el control sobre los parques de la ciudad de Plainfield. Y esos parques se van a permanecer cerrados porque nos preocupa el distanciamiento social y el hecho que Plainfield tiene la tasa de número más alto de nuestro condado de casos infectados de cualquier otro pueblo en nuestro condado. Entonces vamos a continuar con el distanciamiento social y ayudarnos uno entre otro.
So I
Mayor,
want to, yes, yes, Jazz.
sorry, before you close, we did have a few additional questions come in if you have time to take them.
Let's hear them. Yes.
Beverly Crisp would like to know if there are any initiatives being considered to get homeless individuals off the street to enable them to be able to practice social distancing and maintain hygiene, etc. Social distancing, etc.
La pregunta es si hay iniciativas que están siendo consideradas para ayudar a aquellos que no tienen hogar para que puedan tener distanciamiento social.
I'm going to ask Director Burgess to help me out on this one, but I will say that we have no facilities in Plainfield. We have no hotels. We don't have any means within the city of Plainfield to house the homeless population here. And so I will ask Director Burgess if she has anything else to add.
The only thing I have to add is Director Brown and I have been speaking about this topic numerous times and trying to come up with something. Right now, so far, we don't have anyone that's taking in homeless. Director Brown may want to add something to this conversation, but this is something we will continue to visit until we can come up with an answer that we're able to give. But we are working on it, and I want to assure everyone that we've been working on this even before COVID-19 as well.
So the only thing, thank you, Director Burgess. The only thing that I would add is I know we've been working with the county, particularly to deal with any potential positive homeless individuals. And I know probably on Tuesday, they will be coming up with some guidance and some direction on what they plan to do.
Bueno, también solo para decirles que no tenemos en nuestra ciudad hoteles o tenemos los fondos o los lugares para poder proveer casas o un lugar que ellos se puedan alojar a aquellos que no tienen hogar, pero estamos haciendo todo lo posible, aún hemos estado trabajando en esta situación, acerca de esta situación desde antes del COVID-19, pero estamos trabajando también con la CONDA, con nuestra CONDA para poder buscar una resolución a este problema.
We will speak to the state as well, because I know earlier this week that the governor announced, I think it was by way of an executive order, that the state will be leasing hotel rooms to house people that have been affected by the virus. And if it comes to a point where they have to commandeer some of these hotels in order to make rooms available for affected COVID-19 patients, that they would do that. I am not sure how that is working at this point, and that is something that we can look into with our contacts at the state level.
También esto es algo que íbamos a hablarlo con el Estado, porque el Estado había dicho que estaban pensando y planeando de abrir habitaciones de hoteles para poder ayudar a aquellos afectados por el COVID-19 para que tengan habitaciones disponibles para esos pacientes. Pero otra vez eso es algo que debemos de hablar con el Estado y también con nuestro equipo.
Okay, let's hear the next question, Jazz, or Jen.
This question came in from Cynthia Malero. Will the children have to repeat their grade, or will they go to the grade they're supposed to?
La pregunta es si los niños van a tener que repetir el grado que estaban estudiando o si van a poder entrar al grado que ellos tenían que haber entrado.
I wish I had an answer for you. The school district is not under my jurisdiction. I don't know how that will work. I wish I could help with an answer, but I can't. And I will encourage you to call our superintendent of schools to find an answer. And if we can get one, we will make sure we communicate that out to our public. But I don't have an answer to that question since the Board of Education, the school district, is not under the jurisdiction of our municipality.
No te tengo una respuesta directa porque eso no está debajo de nuestro cargo directamente, pero sí te animo a que tú puedas llamar a la escuela y cualquier cosa para que ellos puedan darte una respuesta, y nosotros no tenemos una respuesta, pero te animamos que tú llames a la escuela para que puedas obtener una respuesta.
Mayor?
Let's go to the next question.
Mayor?
Yes. Oh, is that Director Burgess?
Yes, sir. I want to just give a quick information in regards to the Division of Motor Vehicle and the update from the executive order. That
Please.
information is all inspection stickers, driver's license, and registrations that are expiring before May 31st. They are extended for 2 months past May 31st.
Esta es
So hopefully
información.
that'll be helpful.
Oh, sorry. You can continue.
I'm sorry, I'm just saying, hopefully that'll be helpful for the public.
Esta es información dada por la directora Lisa Burgess, que, que vehículos y motores han dado un tiempo de gracia, que si tu tiempo de inspección o tu sticker de inspección de seguro se vence mayo 31, te van a dar 2 meses de extensión de esa fecha de esa fecha, y eso esperamos que les puedan ayudar.
Let's hear the next question.
Monica and Pamela wants to know how long will the mobile testing unit be in operation? How long will it be available?
La pregunta es por cuánto tiempo va a haber sitios de pruebas movibles.
It will be available for an indefinite period of time and until it's no longer needed. When we see the numbers beginning to go down in terms of the daily numbers that we see, and like what is being done around the state, we will be guided by the science, guided by the healthcare professionals. And so I expect the mobile unit to continue servicing Plainfield for as long as it's needed.
Esto se va a ser dado por un tiempo indefinitivo hasta que ya no sea necesario y veamos que los números bajen, y vamos a ser guiados por también los profesionales de salud.
Let's hear the next question.
This question is from Pastor David Agalshi. Are we preparing for the second wave?
La pregunta es si estamos preparándonos para la siguiente ola de este virus.
We have some plans in place in terms of making sure that we are equipped with personal protective equipment should there be a second wave. We will take all of the necessary precautions that we can, just in case this virus were to stay with us for any length of time, or if it were to go away and then return. We don't want to be caught without having personal protective equipment, as so many municipalities found themselves in over the course of the last several weeks. So we will be better prepared the next time around. And in spite of the fact that we had to scramble for PPEs, the city has effectively managed the situation to the best that it was able to. And I am pleased and proud of our first responders, of our administrative team, for the work that they have done over the course of the last several weeks to make sure that we keep Plainfield as safe as we possibly can under the circumstances. But yes, we will do our effort best to be as prepared as we can should there be a second wave.
Sí, tenemos planes establecidos para compartir, para compartírselos, pero estamos tomando todas las precauciones necesarias. Si este virus viene o si este virus se va y regresa, aún no lo sabemos, pero sí vamos a estar mucho más preparados si este virus llega a regresar. La ciudad ha manejado esta situación de buena manera y están haciendo lo mejor que puedan los enfermeros, los doctores, aquellos en primera línea respondiendo a esta crisis, y están haciendo todo lo posible para mantenerse seguros y que la ciudad esté seguro. Pero sí, estamos tomando planes y precauciones para estar prevenidos y que estemos preparados si esto llega a recurrir.
Let's hear the next question.
This is
Elizabeth
from
Norman
Jen.
says,
You go, Jess.
go ahead, Jen.
Okay, this is from Sam Cooper, basically asking if the apartment complexes have been properly noticed that the virus will continue to circulate. And there are several residents that need this information for testing guidelines of what they should be doing. So basically, have there been notices put in place in apartments for residents to know what to do during this pandemic, sorry.
La pregunta es si aquellos que viven en apartamentos, si ellos saben qué hacer en este tiempo de pandemia, si están bien informados.
Director Brown, do you have any information on that? I will simply say that we have been in touch with apartment complexes around the city. We have worked very closely with our public housing. We've worked very closely with our senior facilities, and we have disseminated as much information as we could by way of robocalls, by way of our newsletter, by way of a resource guide that we put out. And I believe that the residents of these units are likely tuning in on a daily basis to the update that is being given by the governor. And so I believe they do have more information than some of us may think that they have. But we will continue to do our part in the city to keep people informed and updated with the information that we have as it becomes available.
Hemos estado en contacto con nuestras instalaciones para que las personas de tercera edad y todos aquellos viviendo allí estén bien informados, pero sí sabemos y yo creo que sí tienen una buena cantidad de información, pero seguiremos y continuaremos dándoles y brindándoles más información para que todos estén bien informados.
Is there a next question?
Elizabeth Harmon is concerned that there are very young ones in our school system that have prior breathing problems, and is concerned of, her concern is how are parents supposed to handle that if they have to go back?
La pregunta es cómo aquellos de los niños que tienen problemas respiratorios, cómo ellos, los padres, van a afrontar este tiempo y esta crisis ahora que cuando llegue el tiempo que los niños regresen a las escuelas.
Again, I would suggest that that kind of a question be directed at our local school district. The schools have nurses on staff to deal with medical issues, but I will not pretend that I have any jurisdiction over our school district. I would encourage the person who posed the question to reach out to the school district, reach out to members of the Board of Education, and definitely reach out to the school superintendent.
Esas preguntas yo creo que las deben preguntarlas a las escuelas directamente, a las enfermeras de las escuelas. Yo no puedo pretender que tengo esas respuestas, entonces les animo que puedan llamar a sus escuelas y aquellos en el Departamento de la Educación.
Is the next question?
Jess, do you see any other questions?
I don't have any other questions, Mayor.
Okay. That brings us close to the end of this week's update. I want to remind everyone of the importance of the census. Census, census, census. You will see there are billboards around the city encouraging people to be counted. But don't waste any more time. If you haven't yet returned your census form, if you haven't gone online to complete information, we encourage you to do so today because it is critically important. You can't afford to lose another seat in the U.S. House of Representatives. We can't afford to lose a dime of revenue that would flow from the federal government based on our census numbers. And so, whether or not you are a citizen, if you're documented or undocumented, you need to be counted. If you have a baby that is a day old, that baby needs to be counted. Every human being living in our city needs to be counted. So please complete your census form. I mentioned earlier that as a result of the governor's executive order that extends the grace period for paying taxes, which gives the municipality the option of doing so by resolution, that I have called a special meeting for this coming Monday, where there will be a resolution presented to the governing body seeking the governing body's consent to extend that as per the governor's executive order to June the 1st. So those are the two things that I really want to end this conversation on. And I'll give the translator some time to translate all of what I just said.
Thank you, Mayor. Quiero recordarles a todos la importancia del census para que todos puedan estar contados. No quiero que gasten su tiempo. Yo quiero que cada persona pueda llenar la información. Yo te animo que lo hagas. No podemos perder otro asiento en la Casa de Representantes o recursos para nuestros programas de la comunidad y sociales. Como resultado también de el orden del gobernador, tendremos una reunión especial para poder extender los pagos al 1 de junio y tener un tiempo de gracia para todos nuestros residentes. Y en estas dos cosas era lo que yo me quería enfatizar, que llenen el census, y también para informarles que vamos a tener una reunión especial para poder alargar el tiempo de gracia hasta el 1 de junio.
You will see on the screen the information that you need to go online and complete the census. So do that today.
En la pantalla verás la información para completar el census.
In the meantime, we will not be relaxing our COVID-19 protocols. We will continue to encourage social distancing. We will continue to encourage proper hygienic behavior. And we will do all that we can to make sure that we don't relax and think for 1 second that the virus has left us. And so all of you who are expecting to see city parks reopen anytime soon, I say you should not be expecting that, because we have too many cases of positives in the city of Plainfield. Too many people are under quarantine. We have lost too many of our residents. As of this evening, I mentioned, we have lost 44 of our residents to this virus. So we cannot and should not and will not relax. So stay safe, be well, protect yourselves and your families, and by so doing, we'll be protecting everyone in the city of Plainfield. Thank you, and may God bless each and every one of you.
Ahora nosotros no nos vamos a relajar en nuestro procedimiento acerca del COVID-19. Entonces vamos a promover el distanciamiento social y vamos a hacer todo lo que podemos para ayudar a las personas. No es tiempo de relajarse. Y para todos aquellos que están esperando que los parques de Plainfield se reabran, ahora no es el tiempo porque hay demasiados casos positivos en nuestra ciudad, demasiadas personas en cuarentena y ahora no es el tiempo de relajarse. Entonces yo les animo a todos de estar en distanciamiento social, de mantenerse en casa, mantenerse seguros. A todos yo les animo estas cosas y que Dios les bendiga y que tengan una muy buena noche.
Finally, I want to thank all of the members of my administrative team. I want to thank the executive director, Mr. Jackson, from the PNUA. And most importantly, I want to thank the Medes Church and Kathleen for the wonderful work that you do every week to make this possible. Your partnership is one that makes such a difference to our residents, and we are enormously grateful. So thank you.
También quiero agradecer a mi equipo, también al director Jackson, al PMA y a todo el equipo de lo que ellos hacen por nuestra ciudad y también por la iglesia Medes y todo lo que ellos también hacen. Entonces, muchas gracias a todos que ayudan en este tiempo.
So see you next week.
Nos
Take
vemos
care
la
and
siguiente
bye.
semana.
Be safe.